What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Faraday Future. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Faraday is up 4.13%, 44 cents the high and 40 cents the low. Once I go over the technicals, it'll make a little bit more sense, both of those points, but today is rather low for volume. 42.7 million shares being traded, 155 is the average. Another day that institutions are somewhat overlooking Faraday. So last transactions above $100,000 that did occur on the secondary market is right here. So on the 8th, there was 2. So in reality, a lot of the volume being done today is algorithmic trading / shorting. So not necessarily the best, but algorithmic trading is really pushing a lot of stocks higher because of recent data and what that does mean for rate cuts. And based on Wall Street, now they are anticipating 2 cuts back to back for interest rates. So first one is going to be for September 18th, and there is a 88.1% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut. And then now for the November 7th meeting, there is now a 53.5% likelihood of another 25 basis point cut. Clearly, I can't speak right now. So nonetheless, the market is anticipating back-to-back cuts, and that is very good for the whole EV sector because the whole EV sector is very sensitive to interest rates. So in essence, this is why you do see, for instance, Tesla's up almost 4% despite kind of pushing back their robotaxi unveil. You have Lucid up 23.8%. Rivian is up 11%. Polestar is up. So Faraday is piggybacking off of that, not to the same regard, only because, in all fairness, Faraday's operations is kind of up in the air, especially with the shareholder meeting right around the corner. A lot of people are just somewhat concerned about that. And in reality, you guys hopefully know me by now that I like to just say it how it is. Reverse stock split, it's kind of, I'm not in favor of it. I'm not against it. I just like to lay out the facts, and both have kind of facts in favor and against. And so it's kind of one of those sticky scenarios because, for instance, in favor of a reverse stock split, this is where it comes down to trust. I've done a video, and actually I think that was the title. It all comes down to trust. If you feel a management has changed and that they are going to do bigger and better things, then yes, vote for the reverse stock split because that will keep it alive for the most part. And then on the flip side, I get the viewpoint for saying no to a reverse stock split because if you look at Faraday's history, they've done already 2 reverse stock splits, one of which was a 1 for 80, August 28th, 2023, and then March 1st, 2024, a 1 for 3. And I've been covering them for a while, and basically in December of 2023, I was saying that they need to do 2 further reverse stock splits. Even when this was announced, this 1 for 3, a lot of people were like, they're just having it there and they're not going to use it. I was already forecasting that they need another one. And so in essence, there's different viewpoints for the reverse stock split. So you guys always do your own due diligence. There's a lot to kind of digest with this upcoming shareholder meeting. And with all the greatness I just mentioned, that is why essentially Faraday is not at double-digit highs. You can tell it kind of does want to go up though. So it does show some signs of wanting to break out despite institutions not really backing it. So that'll make a little bit more sense once I go over the technicals. YT did a update. So he did a video. This was posted yesterday, I believe. So yesterday morning. Once again, not in English, so it has the subtitles underneath. And there's some pretty good things in here. To play devil's advocate, he does talk on price point of what I guess essentially US vehicles, or I guess Chinese vehicles, are sold in the States, the gap. And so he kind of talks on the lower price point. So maybe Faraday is truly committed on pivoting to lower priced vehicles. And I personally think that is a very good thing for the company itself. Just in my opinion, at the same time, I think a lot of this is just fluff, just talks on a lot of speculation. So I think at this stage in the game, people need concrete stuff. Not just, hey, we might be partnering with all these things to kind of have or help with the bridge. It's just like, we need this information now. And so, yeah, it's kind of a, Faraday is a very unique circumstance. One thing that I do got to give it to them though, is that they do have good technology, and YT does bring that up. So yeah, Faraday's technology is definitely good, and so that could be the attribute that they can kind of push into lower priced vehicles, pump that out, and that probably will really expedite their path to profitability, in my opinion. But definitely, I think it's a little bit too early to talk on profitability when it comes down to Faraday. They have to get through kind of the hurdles that they are with right now. Starting off with shorts. Right now, shorts are returning 537,000 shares. 9.43% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 41.24 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is a little bit lower than yesterday, so it is at 11.25, and then utilization 64.27. So just take note of some of the other data points at the very top. Don't necessarily bring them up on a daily basis, but still something to keep in mind. Looking at options, so kind of low for dollar value though, so 106,000 in calls, 55,000 in puts, and this is the current open interest. So I think it is fair to assume, given that we have roughly about 1 hour and 20 minutes left in the trading day, that it's not going to have this final push to above 50 cents. Right now there is 19,000 at that 50-cent strike price, so those will probably expire worthless. But next week is that monthly chain, so you do have a lot more optimism around that $1 mark and 50 cents. So currently 18,000 at that 50-cent strike price and 29,000 at that one. So if Faraday does put out some news, some good news, then this is where you could possibly see a gamma squeeze as a byproduct. Of course, these amounts are very, very low, so kind of have to take that with a grain of salt, but still something to keep in mind. Like I kind of alluded to, with it right now at 42 cents and change, it did have a high of 44 cents. It bounced off of this pivot point. So I've kind of been saying this over this last several videos, that there's been multiple signs that it does want to break out with the broader market. It just needs that push. And clearly by YT putting this out, this isn't what the market wants. This is good information somewhat, if you can kind of decode exactly what he's trying to say, but at the same time, it's not enough to really push Faraday higher. So 44 cents is a very strong pivot to watch for. Aside from that, then it's going to be 50 cents. Market makers and shorts won't want it to close anywhere close to 50 cents. Whether it be today or next week, so just keep that into consideration. And then 38, 34, and 28 cents are the next strong supports. So once again, just take note of everything. You do see number of retail investors slowly getting out, and that's based on at least the last several trading days, ever since it looks like the 12th. So yeah, it just needs a bump up, needs more buying, needs more capital. Faraday right now is a very big momentum play, so it needs capital. And without that, it's just going to be relatively flat. In Faraday's case, it's been very lucky that the broader market has been rallying, so that's been keeping it afloat, but still it needs that catalyst. So let me know your thoughts on Faraday. Give yourself a shout out in the comments below if you have been buying, if you have been selling, what have you been doing with Faraday. And also on a side note, hopefully Omar does that interview, whether it be with YT or whoever else, because I feel like that could be a good catalyst on a side note that could really push it higher, just dependent on the questions and whatever else. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Take advantage of this, link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.